All right, shalom, shalom. I'm Yalla coming at you with another lesson straight out of the Lions Den Camp of Yashala. But before I get started with this lesson, I would like to give all praises to the Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, in their proper true names. We're going to start off by saying Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ha, Rakak, Kwadash, Ma'amath. Definitely want to give double honors to the apostles of GMS and their elders. Definitely want to give double honors to my elder, Ahar Wam, Bon Yashala of the Lions Den Camp, located in Jacksonville, Florida. Shalom to the sincere men, women, and children that believe in sincerity and the truth. Shalom. All right, today's lesson is going to be going over basically the beginning of sorrows, man. Famine, pestilence, really mostly famine and, recession and inflation, man. All right, this is article from BuzzFeed. It says, thanks to Trump's tariffs, grocery shopping will feel like a luxury. Here's how people are coping. It says, people's pockets are only starting to feel the impact of MAGA. The White House has been increasingly chaotic since Trump returned to office, especially regarding international affairs, man. And it says the tariff situation specifically raises concerns not only abroad, but for all Americans who will ultimately shoulder this burden financially, right? All the Americans, right? It says, thus, his claims that grocery prices would go down after his inauguration ultimately feels like an empty promise, as always, right? It says, while not surprising, it's the combination of tariffs along with budget cuts to Medicaid and other social services that will undoubtedly leave the average American without the support necessary to get through the troubled waters ahead, right? Speaking of the troubled waters ahead, man, right? This is 2 Timothy 3:1. It reads, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, man. All right, so these perilous times, let's go to 2nd Esdras 16. So like it. All right, we're going to jump down to 14. 2 Esdras 16 and 14, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consumes the foundation of the earth, right? And that fire began when Yahweh went up on the cross, man. And now America is being exposed for all this wickedness, man, and how this government really treats its people like guinea pigs. We're test subjects to this place, man, to this corporation, right? The Umbrella Club, man, the Umbrella Academy, this is the beast, man. Power system, right? The beast gave power unto the dragon, man, which is NATO, America, and the EU, which is the whore that rides upon the scarlet colored beast, which is America, man. This is the second revised Roman Empire, man, coming back, in full power, the hammer of the earth, man. And the Lord has has kindled a fire against this place, man. And it will not, be put out until it consumes this place and turn this place into a lake of fire, right? It says, like as an arrow, which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plague that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again, right? These plagues are not going to stop until Yahweh Shai returns, man, and basically renews the whole entire earth, right? It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. These are the times that we're in right now, right? As the tariffs that Trump put on these other nations, man, are playing a huge they're affecting the American people, man, with all the moves that Trump is making through the Medicaid, the Medicare, with the taxes, the IRS, everything dealing with him kicking the migrants out, the same ones that voted for him. A lot of those, I ain't gonna say voted for him, but that was backing him. A lot of those Latinos, their family members are being, kicked out. As far as our farmers, losing their workers, the migrants. All of that stuff is going to end up hitting our pockets, right, as the American people. And a lot of times when people start to fear the upcoming famine or inflation or recession, they tend to stockpile on things, right? Stockpile on canned goods, non-perishables, and ultimately, when all hell breaks loose, and if people find that you have a whole bunch of stock, right? A bunch of canned goods and stuff like that, and they're not able to go out and get food for their family, ultimately they're going to come against you, right? These are the times that we're heading towards, man. Civil war, people, man against man. As we see kingdom against kingdom, we're going to start seeing it here on our streets, man. People are going to start going back to raiding the grocery stores. It's going to be a lot of chaos in the streets because people can't afford basic groceries, man. So people that that live in these nice subdivisions that have a lot of money can stockpile up on things. People that live in my neighborhood, they're not dummies, man. They know where to go to to get merchandise that they need to, right? In certain areas, man, certain subdivisions, right? So it's not a good thing to depend on stockpiling, right? Because at the end of the day, what if you have to leave your home? What if a state of emergency happens where people have to leave the city? Right? You did all that stockpiling for nothing, right? So it's just best to wait on, depend on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? For those who know and for those who are part of the elect, we know the Lord is going to feed us in that day, man, and give us strength in that day. Nothing to be worried about, man. To have the understanding that these things are coming, and it's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse from here. It says, the beginning of sorrows, great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. Right, as we see people like Zelensky, man. After that little conversation him and Trump had, I know, he's in fear because he sees, as he's already knew. But he see now that America's not backing him, man. And then there's talk on Musk telling Trump to back out of NATO, right? Which would play more into prophecy, man. Them turning their backs against America, against the whore, right? The 10 crowns or the 10 horns turning their backs against the whore, man. But, all these things are leading up to the Lord's prophecies, man. All these things must come to pass, right? These kingdoms standing in fear now. Zelensky, people like South Korean president, as they see North Korea steady ramping up their nuclear arsenals, doing more testing, doing more military drills as they're helping out Russia fight Ukraine, knowing that Russia's going to back North Korea when the time comes for them to take over South Korea. I mean, everything's being brought together how the Lord wants it, man. It says, the beginning of evils, man. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, right? Our people are not mindful of the scourges, man. They're not paying attention to the prophecies. They're not understanding what, why, America is going through this, or why the world is going through this. Why are there being talks of World War III? People have no idea that these are the prophecies of the Lord, man. Of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. And when you don't have that knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right, you're going to be caught with your pants down, man, right? Because you're caught in that confusion, listening to these false teachers and these false prophets, man, who are telling you this, to take the jab, to go out and, to do what you got to do in that day. If they offer you, the MOTB, to take it, that the MOTB is sin, all these false, vain, breakdowns and false prophecies, man, are going to lead people. That's why the Lord said, my people are being led to the slaughter, man. His sheep are being led to the slaughter because they're following the wrong shepherd, man. They're actually following the wolf in sheep clothing, man. As well as the rest of the people trusting into the governments, man, not having no faith into the Lord. But they have all the faith into the government, thinking that the government is going to protect them, when the government is the same ones that's poisoning y'all, man, and killing y'all and treating y'all like guinea pigs, man. By all the stuff they spraying in the air that falls on our crops, that falls on our grass, where our cows graze at, where our plants get their nutrients, and vegetables and fruits get their nutrients from. All that stuff they're spraying in the air, man, is falling directly into our foods, man, right? As well as them pushing out GMO foods, 3D printed food made from dung. It's just getting worse and worse, man. The scriptures say we'll eat our food defiled amongst the Gentiles, man. But everything that we have in this place, man, is nothing but wickedness and evil, and it's all leading to death, man. Verse 21, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, right? As people were just thinking last year, everything was sweet right before this president got into office, man, before Trump got in. And, ordering a whole bunch of stuff from Temu, thinking everything cheap. Now look at where we're standing now. People can barely afford to buy eggs, man, because egg prices done went up because of the pestilence, man, because of the bird flu, right? Dealing with the rest of our foods coming from the markets, right, are going to go up in price because the migrants was kicked out, right? Now the farmers got to pay more to basic Americans, right, which is going to make them raise their prices up in the markets, man, because they got to pay more to get the labor done, right? They're going to charge more, right? So it's all, everything is going to hit the basic American people, man, no matter what color you are. It's going you're gonna have to feel the famine pestilence, man, as well as the elites. The elites are gonna feel it too, right? It said, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, right? Thinking that everything's sweet, nothing to be worried about. Oh, let's go vote for Trump. He'll make everything right. It wouldn't matter who y'all voted for, really. We was gonna end up in the same predicament, man. It might have went different ways, but the predicament, the outcome of it would have been us going into in a recession, man. It says, even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine. See, even then we still see more evils growing in the earth, man. More. I was just reading an article about China building this brand new aircraft carrier, where it's they basically comparing it to the United States' #1 aircraft carrier, saying that China's is going to be a little bit better, right? And you already know China's like the watch pot for the Lord, man. Basically meaning, when you look into their technology on how advanced the Lord, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Lord has given them as far as technology, right? And how fast they're able to advance in technology, man. So that one warship, that one aircraft carrier is going to turn into hundreds, man, within a year or two, right? And they're probably going to be carrying sophisticated drones on these aircrafts as well, spy drones, and this is a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier at that. So, China is being risen up, man, as well as the BRICS. All of this ultimately to come against America, man. But as the American people, we have to you must understand that war is coming to the lands, man. Famine is coming to the lands. Pestilence is already here, right? The famine is already here, right? It said, even then shall evils grow on earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, man. Great confusion as, going into what our people believe in, man. They believe into Christianity. They believe into the government. They believe the government and the WHO organization, even though Trump has pulled out of the WHO, right? The World Health Organization. But our people believe in these things and that's where they put their faith at, right? And not understanding that the Lord has all control, man. He heals. He kills and he makes alive, man. He wounds and he heals. So all these pestilence and diseases, man, that that people run down to Egypt for help for, right, to go get that jab, right? All these things are leading people straight to their death, man. The jab is leading to your death, right? Your lack of faith into Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to continue to lead you to more pestilence, man, right? There's a new disease out in the Congo that they're saying is spreading extremely it's spreading rapidly, basically to the point where they can't contain it. People are dying within 2 days of having this disease, man. Vomiting blood, um, it's blood coming out of their nose. It's a lot of different symptoms, but they're saying that they put the Congo under a state of emergency, man. But it's funny how the Congo always be the one with these pestilence diseases, man. Ultimately could be coming from these certain governments, testing on these people, man. Allegedly. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, man. So this recession that we're going in, man, anyone who survives, right, you still got to be, spiritually ready for those Gerber troops, right, martial law, Civil War. All these things are still right here in the midst, man. Meaning, as things keep progressing, right, as Donald Trump continues down this path, man, it's just going to make things worse, man. It's going to end up civil war. It's going to be right here in America, and that's going to lead to that martial law, man. Who's going to deliver us in those days, man? Only Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua has our back in those days, man. All right, back to the article. It says, thus his claims that grocery prices will go down after his inauguration ultimately feel like an empty promise, while not surprising, its combination of tariffs along with budget cuts to Medicaid and other social services that will undoubtedly leave the average American without the support necessary to get through the troubled waters ahead, man. And the only way to get through these troubled waters ahead, to get through Jacob's trouble, man, is putting on the armor of the elect, man, having nothing but true faith in the name of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, and to walk that straight and narrow path of righteousness, man, to continue to do the work, to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities, right? Push this truth, man, and to repent, man, turning back to who? Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, right? You can't turn back to no other, man. It's only one door, man, and that's Yahushua. And if you're not part of his circle, man, he's not going to answer that door. Right? He's not for everybody, man. It says, as you could expect, back to the article, people feel increasingly hopeless as the days pass. Last week, I asked the BuzzFeed community how they plan to save on groceries if a potential recession strikes. Some responses felt rather dystopian, while others were just flat out hilarious. However, at its core, Americans are bracing for the worst in the foreseeable future, from stocking up on non-perishables, right, perishable items, to growing their own produce. Right, this is why I was speaking of what was being sprayed in the air. Right, because even if you are growing your own produce, man, right, they're still getting to you by the stuff that falls from these aircrafts that fly over us every day, right, going into these chemtrails, man, right, so ultimately, man, there's no getting away from the Lord's wrath, man, period. It says, from stocking up on non-perishable items to growing their own produce, here are a few ways people plan on budgeting as tariff talks persist. Right, number one, I just bought 20 pounds of coffee beans. What you gonna do with them coffee beans, bro? Right. The only thing you're gonna be able to do with those 20 pounds, man, is trade with people, when the times get that bad. But me personally, I'm not gonna be purchasing no damn coffee bean. Number two, it says, I've been stocking up on pantry stable stuff for a while now. Only the very cheapest stuff on sale. Right, it says, I only spent $5 per fortnight on things like canned fish or vegetables, dried beans, and pasta legume. It says, over time, my stash of food has gotten pretty decent, and I can make meals from it often. I also grow my own tomatoes, zucchini, pumpkins, celery, watercress, and lots of other stuff from scraps. Now, again, I'm not saying not to grow your own produce, right, and not to go buy food, right, but what I'm saying is not to depend on that, Right. Yes, it's okay to be prepared, right, by growing your own food, especially if you can keep it out of the, you can grow it from inside the house, right? Hydroponic type setups, right, where you can basically grow up inside your house, or it's okay to just to buy food and have food, in stock, but the mindset, right, is the key. Not to have your mind stuck on that. Like, look, I'm gonna be straight because I got all this stuff, right? Your house can catch on fire the next day, and all that stuff can be gone, right? So the mindset should be, trusting Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, right? That's what your mindset should be, regardless if you're, buying food to put in the house, for hard times or not, right? Understand that that's not what's going to save you, right? That's not what's going to comfort you, because that stuff you can lose at any time, man, right? But to basically, store up your riches in heaven, basically, right? Not to store them up on earth, but to store them up in heaven, right? But that's more so going into, charity and doing the work. But as long as you're doing, charity and doing the work, the Lord's going to take care of you, man. Right. Number 3, it says, not just groceries. We are not buying or spending only local. It says, number 4, it says, I really don't know. We are older adults on fixed income. If Social Security is stopped or reduced, we'll be in serious trouble. It says, I truly believe this President Trump and Musk, Governor Ron DeSantis, and Senator Rick Scott don't care about the people of this country. Correct. All they value is money and power, right? Number 5, but I guarantee y'all was the ones who voted for him, though, right? May have been one of the ones that was part of the January 6th event, right? It said, number 5, I bought and bidet, right, to cut down on toilet paper costs, and I'm planning a low non-buy year. Right, stop these men. Right, that's what number 6 says. Number 7, it says we will be foregoing super fancy practice meals. I love to cook and have gotten pretty good at it, but if prices keep going up and I lose my job, I work in higher education, we will be cutting out wine, eating out. See, they living good right now, eating out and eating more struggle meals like we did in our 20s. Our bill is always high, though, because we have an egg, dairy, peanut, tree nut, and soy intolerant kid. So we have to buy a lot of special kinds of milk and foods for him that are really expensive, right? So what are you going to do in that day, right, when you can't seem to afford these more expensive items or even be able to find these expensive items, man? Right. The only thing you can do is depend on the Lord, man, for him to lead you and bring, the proper substance to you and your family. Right. Number 8 says starve. And you see man in the skeleton, man. Damn, that's deep. Right. And as we was just reading this second address, man, for those who escape the hunger. Right. Some won't escape the hunger. Number 9, not buying much. Started ordering meat from local places. I refuse to pay grocery prices, shopping at Aldi's and giving up things we used to buy like chips and snack, right? And then Aldi's just went through a scare where they had to recall some meats as well just recently. But you get the point though, man, right? Let's go to Ecclesiasticus. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 40 and 8. We'll start at 8. It says, such things happen to all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. Man. Right, so these things were created for the wicked. Right, let's go to over to Ecclesiasticus 39:28. All right, we'll start at 26. I'm slacking. Yeah, we'll start 25. Slacking. Ecclesiasticus 39:25. For the good are good things created from the beginning, So evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron and salt, flour and wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, right? So to the sinners, they are turned into evil. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which is in their fury, lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them, right? And this is going into the angels, right? Who bring forth the scourges for amendment, man, right? So they know what all man needs, going into water, fire, iron, salt, flour, milk, honey, wheat, and those things are good to the righteous, man, right? But for the wicked, right, those things will be used as evil to the sinners, right? By putting them through famine and pestilence, But these spirits, man, that go out and bring the plagues against the earth, man, are sent out for scourges for amendments, man, against the wicked, right? It says, verse 28 again, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Right? See, all these was created for vengeance, man. And speaking of famine, going into a recession or inflation, what we're seeing now, right? Let's go to Isaiah real quick. All right, because it's on. Let's go to Isaiah 65 all the way down. 65:13. Yeah. Isaiah 65 we'll start off at 11, man. Speaking of the 2/3, man, about people who lack the faith, right? Who put all their faith into the government, right? Running down to Egypt for help, basically running to these churches for itching ears, man. With itching ears, man. Falling victim to every vain fable, man. And win the doctrine. This Isaiah 65:11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword, right? And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, right? Informing you of the prophecies coming to pass, man, right? But you didn't want to take heed, right? It says, when I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not, right? Choosing Christianity, choosing, the doctrine of the Catholics or the Muslims, right? Choosing to believe into a government or to believe, Esau, Edom, right? To fall in behind them, to put your faith and trust into Esau, Edom, right? Instead of your faith into Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, into the Lord, man. Delighting in things that's not of the Lord, man, at all, Verse 13, therefore thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, right? Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my children. But that was the point, man. All right, the Lord's gonna make sure His servants eat in those days, man. His friend, the ones that's part of His what you can call a friendship circle, man. This is why He said, He only came to save the lost sheep of Israel, man. He didn't come to save everybody, for one, and then for two, right? He's only here for He's only here for the elect, man. The ones that's going to be part of the first fruits. But 2/3 by people are not going to be able to eat, right? They shall be hungry, right? They shall be thirsty, right? They also shall be ashamed, right? And they also shall be crying in sorrow of heart, right? And vexation of spirit, because the lack of faith that they had into Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, right? Scoffing at the men that's pushing His truth out on the highways and byways, like the apostles of GMS and the Lions Den Camp, right? All right. I'm gonna grab one more and then I end it. Let's go to let's go to Ephesians 6. For the 2/3 that didn't put on the armor of the elect. This is Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. Right? See, we have to be strong in the Lord, not strong as a Republican or a Democrat, not strong as a Christian, right? Or as definitely not as a Freemason or anything else, or Q dog or anything like that, man. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, right? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and in the power of His might, right? Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, man. Right? So without putting on the whole armor of the Lord, man, you have no defense, man. Right? You have no covering. Right? You be just like Adam and Eve, man, that day, putting on the covering of these other nations and took off the covering of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. Verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, man, like our government, man. Like the Vatican Church. All the places that really, and like the elite families that rule, that the elite banking families like the Rothschild and Rockefellers, right, who have all the rights to our Bibles and have all the money, right, and resources, man. People put on, they put that armor on instead of putting on the armor of the Lord, right? It says, wherefore take, so like I skipped something. It says, it says, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And we're in those evil days, man. We just have to understand, one day to the Lord is 1,000 years to us, man. So we're in those evil times, man. Right? And having done all to stand, right? Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, right? This is why you see us out on the highways and byways pushing this truth, man, with our beautiful garments on, right? It says, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, right? Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching, continue watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints, right? And for me, the utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mysteries of the gospel, man. And this is why we continue to push this truth, to give you breakdowns, right? To to continue following current events that lead up to prophecy, right? And that shows prophecy, and to continue to give warning to our people, man. This is our job, and we're going to continue to push this truth, man. Continue to give warning to our people, right? So when people ask, what are we here for, man? We're here And we're out on the highways and byways, and we do these videos to give warning to our people of World War III, that they are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they are, and we are the true Israelites of the scriptures, man, right? And there's no other way out of World War III without the covering of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, right? That's why we continue to give the true names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, so people can have a way to turn back, a way to repent, all right? So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Shalom and DTA.